What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and today I'll be breaking down part 3 of the Princeton Offense, the Chin series, so let's get to it. In the Chin series, the center is at the high post, and the point guard will swing it once to the guard, who will swing it to the forward, and then the guard who initiated the action will shuffle cut off the center's back screen, looking for a layup, which they get here. This first shuffle cut is rarely open, but when it is, it's an easy 2 points. So usually Jason Kidd would swing it one more time to the forward here, but this time he can hit the guard cutting off the back screen from up top, and it's a layup. Notice how the opposing center here will drop very low to take away the back screen action, so the center who set the back screen can roll right to the basket in front of the ball, receive it, and hit an in-close shot. There are also certain reads and options for any backdoor cut. Here the first guard, instead of receiving the pass, backdoors, and then he'll post up on whatever block the ball was passed to. So here it's passed to the strong side forward, so the guard will cut through and post up on that strong side block. There will also be a double staggered screen, and here Caron Butler hits an open jumper. Same option here as the wing backdoor cuts, then cuts to the strong side block for an entry. Here's a general Princeton rule that applies before any option has been chosen. A guard forward dribble handoff equals a weak side guard forward exchange. So you have a dribble handoff at the top and a weak side guard forward exchange. This is to make any guard to guard pass easier. So here again, the guard and Chin back cuts, and on the previous 2 clips we saw the ball pass to the strong side wing, and the guard who back cut would post up on that block. But here it's swung across to the opposite wing, so the guard simply posts up on that block. You still have the double staggered screen, and here Jefferson scores inside. Same option, here there really isn't much of a post up, but you still have the double staggered screen, and here it scrambles the defense and gets Jared Jeffries a wide open 3. So on the last few examples, we saw the first ball reversal being overplayed, and here the second ball reversal is overplayed, so Jason Kidd, you'll see, back cuts and gets a layup. No back cuts here, it's classic Chin, and when Martin isn't open for a layup off the shuffle cut, he can either exit to the strong side corner or post up on that strong side block, which he does here, and he scores. Same option with the strong side post up off of Chin, and here they also add a flare screen, which gets them an open jumper. Once again, a flare screen off of a post up, this can be very effective, and here the flare screen gets them a layup. We just saw the Wizards utilize the flare screen, and the Nets here, same option, but they'll utilize a double staggered screen off of the strong side post up, and they get a foul. But most of the time, the guard who shuffle cut will not post up on that strong side block, he'll exit to the strong side corner, and the next option is for the guard on top to receive a flare screen from the center. So, typically the guard who initiates the action shuffle cuts, and the guard who passes it to the wing receives the flare screen. Great execution here. Watch how the defender guarding the flare screen will go over the top this time, so Keith Van Horn can curl it, backdoor cut it right to the basket. Great pass by Kidd, and they get a layup. If the guard who receives the flare screen isn't open, he's curling it to the basket no matter what, and he can look for a pass like Van Horn, but regardless he's going to the basket. The ball is then passed to the center, and they can flow into the double pin down option, which is a double pin down for both guards simultaneously, and the center can choose to pass to either guard or execute a dribble handoff with either guard. Here the center passes it to Kidd. Here the Lakers run it, and Ed Davis, the center, will execute a dribble handoff with Jeremy Lin here, and Lin can find Davis rolling to the basket for a dunk. I really like this option as it's a great way to get a guard going toward the middle, and here you'll see a Knicks defender help one pass away off of a good shooter in Jabari Brown. Now sometimes the offense will boycott that flare screen altogether. Here you usually see the flare screen and then the guard would cut to the basket, but here they simply go right into the double pin down action and they get a layup. Eddie Jordan will signal chin flow, which is basically telling his team to run Chin, and then flow right into the double pin down option, simultaneous. The center can pass or execute a dribble handoff with one of the guards, a possible open 3 there, but instead he drives. Nice option here, kid will get the double pin down action and the dribble handoff on one side, and the weak side forward will duck in on that low block, and he gets a good look. The Hornets this time will run an interesting variation. Instead of the double pin down option, it'll be a simultaneous double back screen. The guards will still pop out after setting the back screen, and here they eventually get a decent look at 3. You can also execute a side pick and roll out of Chin. Instead of passing it to the center to set up the double pin down action here, the center will simply come and screen the ball, and they get a fill jumper here. Here the Nets will run Chin, and they want to get Jason Kidd a sideline pick and roll, so they'll run Chin again, and the center will come screen the ball just like we saw on the last clip, and Kidd scores. Moving on, this is a variation out of Chin that I really like, but it does have to be called out. Here, instead of the second guard receiving a flare screen, possibly cutting right to the block to start the double pin down action, he'll cut right to the strong side corner, and then the guard who shuffle cut will come right back to the top, receiving a down screen from the center. This is a very good action, and here Gilbert Arenas hits a 3. The Lakers don't execute it very well here, but you can see how a shuffle cut and then right away a pin down can be very effective, and here Wesley Johnson hits a 3. This time off of the variation, a Nets guard can receive the pin down, drive, and then dish to the center. And watch here how the weak side forward who's just standing there will catch his defender napping, so he cuts backdoor to the rim and gets a dunk. Same variation, and here a defender will help one pass away, so Jefferson cuts to the basket and gets fouled. Moving on from that variation, here you'll see Scott signal for Chin, and usually you'll see this guard reverse it one more time to the forward, but here he can also execute a screen and roll out on top. The center simply screens the ball after setting the back screen, and the guard hits a jumper. The next 2 examples are the exact same thing. Instead of swinging it one more time, Kidd will execute a screen and roll out on top, and both times he finds Richard Jefferson, who's cutting backdoor for a dunk. So in classic Chin, this guard would reverse it to the forward, or we just saw him use a screen and roll out on top, or he could swing it to the opposite wing, and what happens then is the guard who shuffle cut posts up on the strong side block, and there's a double staggered screen, and here Kenyon Martin gets a dunk. In my opinion, this offense is much more complicated than the triangle offense, and you can see how each pass triggers a different option. Same thing we saw the last 2 times. The guard on top will pass it to the weak side, you have the strong side post up and the double staggered screen, and here they get an in-close shot. Another option out of Chin is the UCLA option. Usually the ball would be passed to this guard and then swung again for Chin, but the ball can also be passed to the strong side wing, and then this triggers the UCLA option. You have a UCLA cut off of the center, and then the center will set an inside ball screen for the wing, and here they get an open jumper. Once again, the UCLA option. Here Jefferson will UCLA cut, and he'll post up on that strong side block instead of Kidd and the center executing the screen and roll option. Excellent variation here. Instead of Martin UCLA cutting, he'll also screen the ball along with the center to form a double drag screen, and they get a dunk. Once again, they execute this option with the double drag screen. And this isn't by accident, it's Kidd getting this double drag screen. They set it up this way, do Chin, go to the UCLA option to set Kidd up in this position. Well, there you have it guys. I've covered the 3 main Princeton series, low post, point, Chin, but there is one more option in the general Princeton I need to cover, so there will be a part 4. It's covering the forward flash, and it won't be a long video, and then after that video, I'll focus my attention toward the NBA playoffs and the NBA draft, so stay tuned and see you next time.